winter brings Christmas and holiday cheer, but it also brings cold and dry air that can wreak havoc on our skin. So here to bust some common skin myths is board-certified dermatologist and co-host of The Doctors, Dr. Sonia Batra. Welcome back, Doctor.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And it's true, there's so many myths out there about how to best take care of your skin in the winter. And while it's really important to take care of your skin year-round, there are a lot of questions that people ask, and especially my patients. I think it's important to get the truth out there.
Right. A lot of very simple things that we can do to make sure that our skin is not dry and chapped and cracking like mine is right now.
Well, I was gonna say,
that time of year.
Did you bring any moisturizer with you by any chance?
You know, it's crazy because I'm a true dermatologist. I always have sunscreen and moisturizer.
Well, then I'm asking the right person.
So great. Yeah. So let's start with moisturizer then, because I've always thought, and I'm probably wrong, that for your body, not your face, but for your body, the thicker the cream, like you see that really thick hand salve, I think it's called Utter or something, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The thicker the better, because it'll help keep in the moisture and lock it in longer. Is that true?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that are super greasy, but not necessarily super hydrating.
Okay.
So what's in the product that you're using is actually much more important. And as we're learning a lot more about the barrier of the skin, meaning the skin is meant to keep the outside world out, when it's wintertime and you get dry and cracked and fissured, it's much more important to restore that seal. So you want to look for things like ceramides, which is an ingredient. You can turn over any product in the drugstore and see what's in it. And anything with a ceramide and then maybe a number after it is going to be one of those glue elements that keep the skin sealed from the outside. Another really good ingredient to look for is hyaluronic acid. That's like a sponge-like molecule that helps your skin retain moisture. And so those products might not actually be greasy, because what we're finding is that while it's true that heavy products can kind of form this film on your skin, if you're really looking to restore sort of the wall, like the mortar between the bricks of your skin, it can actually be a lightweight product if it's well formulated and it has those ingredients. You just have to know what to look for.
Good to know.
Fantastic. I'm already off to a good start. I'm learning already. Let's go to the next myth here. Now, we've been told, you know, through the years that we shouldn't exfoliate in the winter when it's so dry. Is that accurate?
So actually that's not accurate, because exfoliation is just helping your skin turn over, right? You're trying to stimulate that cell turnover, which might slow down a little bit in the winter. But the truth is, when your skin is drier and much more fragile and more prone to those cracks and fissures, you just want to be more gentle with it. It doesn't mean you have to stop exfoliating, but you might not want to use that harsh scrub with sharp edges where it has like nuts and things, and you're just fissuring that dry, parched skin anyway. So I always tell my patients, look for chemical exfoliants in the winter. So things like alpha hydroxy acid, which if you look at the ingredients again on your products, you're looking for glycolic acid, you're looking for lactic acid. These are all things you can easily find at a regular drugstore.
I always just get scared when I see the word acid.
Me too.
Putting acid on my skin, how could this possibly be good?
Well, because these are very low concentrations. So beta hydroxy acid, also known as salicylic acid, those are things that are going to help stimulate that cell turnover in a more gentle way. Even though it has that word acid, don't be afraid. Just look for like a gentle, it's going to be an over-the-counter drugstore product.
Now, what about lips when it comes to our lips? Because I right now am suffering from such chapped lips. It's been so dry here in California. I know we were just talking about it, and winter has just started. So by the end of the winter season, they're going to be cracking and probably bleeding. Are there some, say, some lip balms that are better than others?
Absolutely. So it's a perfect time of year to really protect your skin, because it's dry everywhere. Even when it's super cold and snowy outside, the humidity level is dropping everywhere across the country. So that's why you're getting that dry, cracked, fissured feel to your lips. So what you don't want to look for are really waxy products that are going to sit on top of your skin, because they just sort of form a film and they don't really emoliate or hydrate the skin. So what you do want to look for are things that are going to help seal that skin up again. So if you're comfortable with petroleum products, good old Vaseline, petroleum jelly,
that's what I put on every day, thank
totally
goodness.
fine with me.
Good.
Or people who don't necessarily want those petroleum products, I say look for the ceramides. Again, there are lip balms now that have that. Shea butter, really useful too.
Good.
So those are things that are going to hydrate the skin. But what you don't want is really scented, heavily perfumed, like the bright pink, like all those dyes, all those perfumes, really bad actually, can be very irritating. They can dry out your lips more. And then one thing that happens to all of us in the winter is when our lips dry out, you get those flakes of skin and they just sit there.
say that?
No,
Because
I'm
it's
not. There's no
Look right at
judgment
me.
there.
Oh, she's looking at me.
But I
No,
think
me.
the tendency is people take those flakes of skin and they just tear them
Yeah,
off.
you do, because
and that's
they're like a
the
hangnail.
worst thing. Yeah, that's the worst thing you
Oh.
can do though,
do we
because
do?
then you're opening up this like kind of wound to
Right,
the outside
right,
world,
that's
and
true.
it hurts. And the other thing that a lot of my patients do that you don't want to do is lick your lips over and over. Because when they're dry, you
So
sit
far I'm
there and you
failing.
start licking, and then that saliva evaporates off your lips. It dries them out more as some of the chemical content of your saliva, not so great for that barrier of your lips as well.
Okay.
So instead, what you might want to do if you're looking for an exfoliant for your lips is actually just get a separate toothbrush, maybe not the one you use to brush your teeth, and you can either take it and very gently go over your lips and just exfoliate them a little bit, or you can create your own scrub with like honey and sugar, just something with a very
Okay.
soft granular element to
Maybe
it.
some olive oil.
Exactly, yeah.
okay.
Great minds think alike. And then just use a little toothbrush to help exfoliate as well. So that's kind of a good tip, but just be gentle. Again, your skin is dry, it's fragile. You don't want to abrade it or irritate it.
I can
or
be a
open
little
it up.
rough around the edges at times with that stuff, so that's good to know for me.
Okay,
What about people with oily skin? I think there's a misconception that you don't need to hydrate, you don't need to moisturize when you have oily skin in the wintertime. Would you say that's the case?
I think that's a common misconception, but I think the most important aspect of that is people who are oily and breakout prone, because I have a lot of patients that they're already getting very dried out in the winter, because like you said, even here in California where it's warm, it does dry out. And so they're stripping their skin, they're not allowing it to have a nice moisture seal, and so the skin's going to overcompensate. What's going to happen in that situation is it's going to produce even more oil that then gets
my
blocked, and then you get this breakout, and then you're throwing really drying acne products on it, and so it becomes this cycle of stripping your skin and overcompensating and making you break out.
that's awful.
So yeah, so I tell my acne-prone patients and my oily patients in the winter, just get a lightweight, non-pore clogging moisturizer. And so on the label, it should either say that, or it should say more technically, because dermatologists love jargon, non-comedogenic or non-acnegenic. But that just means it's something that isn't going to clog you, but it's a lightweight, maybe oil-free moisturizer that's just going to help your skin sort of seal up against your bodies and overproducing that oil to compensate.
Okay, now real quick, Dr. Batra, we all love a hot shower in the wintertime. When it's freezing outside, all you want to do is go get in a hot bath. You say absolutely not.
Correct. So it feels really good, and there's a common misconception there that soaking is really hydrating for your skin, but actually it's completely the opposite. You look so crushed that I'm saying that.
That's my only
And I
me
hate-
time,
yeah.
Dr. Batra.
No, I get it, and I hate to ruin people's lives when I say that, but actually, even if you love, love, love that long hot shower, it's the worst thing you can do in terms of drying out your
Really?
skin.
The worst thing we can do?
Yeah, because it's so dehydrating. So not too long,
Okay.
not too hot shower or bath.
So not too long, not too hot.
Exactly.
Not too long, not too hot. You just
And
gotta
just
right-
moisturize, just
Yeah.
everything in moderation, Cameron, and we will
Well,
be
that's
all
an
right.
issue for me.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Batra. You always have
you.
such wonderful information.